This video is brought to you by All Ball Pro, the ultimate sports rebounder. Be sure to head over to allballpro.com and don't forget to use coupon code SR4U at checkout for 10% off of your order. Hey guys, Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com, bringing you a video today that's a little bit different. I've been thinking a long time about how I could show the performance of a soccer shoe in video form, because it's one thing to read the reviews and watch the comparison videos and listen to what I say based on my own personal experiences, but it's another thing to actually see a boot performing and kind of be able to trust that this shoe actually does work because you can actually see it working. And I do want to do these performance tests. I know I've had a lot of requests for doing free kicks and stuff like that, and it will be coming very soon. Don't worry about that. I get excited. But as far as showing actual performance on video, it's very hard to do because there's not a lot of distinction as far as visual differences between one shoe to another when you are performing skills. For example, striking the ball in, let's say, a pair of Vapor 8s looks pretty much identical to striking the ball in a pair of Adidas F30 Adizeros. So there's nothing that you can visually see that's different that's going to show the performance differences between both of those shoes. So that goes for shooting, that goes for passing, controlling the ball, juggling, any kind of skill-based activity. You really can't see a difference in video. It's really up to the player and not so much the shoes. What you can see on video though, and that I've been thinking about for a long time, is if you could see the actual difference in grip as far as changing direction at high speed, but kind of slowing down the footage. So in slow motion you could see the shoe gripping in, kind of the sides of the shoe kind of bending and flexing with your foot, kind of showing off the fit of the shoe and how good it actually is at changing direction. So what I kind of made up today was a traction test. I went to the soccer field with my slow motion camera and got some really good footage that I think shows the traction of a soccer shoe. And let me know what you guys think of this. Leave a like on the video if you do want to see more. Leave a comment letting me know if you do have any other ideas as far as video performance tests are concerned, because I would be very curious. I've been putting a lot of thought into this and I really want to do more of these and show the performance of a soccer shoe, not only tell you about it. But let me know what you think about this video because I think it turned out pretty good. What got me thinking about this were the lateral wings that are used on the Under Armour Blur Carbon 3s. I thought it was a really good idea and I wanted to see if it actually did work. And to my surprise, it actually does work really, really well. I'm surprised nobody has thought of it up until now. And I compared it to a couple different shoes. I brought 3 shoes out to test with me. Those Under Armours I just talked about, the brand new Puma King Sl, and the Adidas F30s in leather. So stay tuned, check out the footage, and let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. The first drill I wanted to do was a 10-yard sprint towards the camera with a quick change of direction accelerating away. This way you could see all the movement in the upper, exactly how much the shoe is rolling over, and all the grip you are getting from the stud pattern. Just looking at the Under Armour, you can see how well it actually did perform and it felt really great on feet. That lateral wing didn't allow for basically any rollover in the upper whatsoever. You can see the stud pattern really grips hard with all the grass flying up, and for the most part this was definitely one of the better shoes that I've ever worn as far as changing direction is concerned and just accelerating away. It really does perform well, and Under Armour really did a good job as far as this particular shoe is concerned. The combination of carbon fiber and P-backs on the sole plate really does work well. The next shoe I have here is the Puma King Sl, another brand new shoe with an all new stud pattern. And again, this one performed really well also. I was surprised at how much grip I actually got, but it wasn't actually digging into the ground all that much, interestingly enough. You can see that I'm not really slipping when I do plant my foot. You can see there's a little bit of rollover in the upper, but not very much at all. The upper really does fit good on this particular shoe. And like I said, I really didn't have any issues as far as slipping was concerned. Again, not too much as far as digging into the ground and grass kicking up and dirt kicking up, but I found myself slipping the least as far as when the ground was really soft like it was today in the Puma King Sl than the other 3 shoes. The next shoe I have here is the Adidas F30. And for the most part, this shoe was by far the least performing, or the least good performing shoe, I should say. I found that it had the sloppiest fit of all 3 shoes that I tested. There was a lot of rollover in the upper that you guys can see a little bit in the video. Again, the camera, this is as slow as I can make it, but I think it's slow enough to see a lot of the effects. You can see that the studs were really digging in, but they weren't digging in deep enough to where I was getting traction. They were kind of penetrating the surface just a little bit, but I wasn't getting deep enough traction to where I was able to make that hard cut without slipping. And you can see that I slipped quite a bit in this shoe. Every single cut I was making, the foot planted and it kind of stuck in, but there was always a little bit of extra give into the surface of the grass, simply because I felt like the stud pattern just wasn't doing its job, and there was a lot of rollover in the upper. The next drill I did here was running parallel to the camera and then making that 90 degree cut away from it. And you can see the Under Armour shoe had a little bit of kind of slippage. It really gripped into the ground hard, but there was no rollover in the upper, and for the most part I kept my footing pretty easily. The next shoe I have here is the Puma King Sl, and I think, again, this one performed really well in this particular situation. Again, it doesn't dig into the ground all that much, but for whatever reason, you stay on your feet, and I felt like I could really cut hard in this particular shoe without having risk of slipping. Again, stay tuned to the end, because I do have a little fail there where I kind of slipped on the first part and then tried to keep my footing and ended up slipping again. It's pretty funny. Fell over, so just stay tuned to see that. The next shoe I have here, again, is the F30, and again, I kept slipping in the shoe. I don't know why. It just wasn't dinging in properly. I felt like my foot was moving around on the inside of the shoe, and for that reason, it lacked a little bit of support and just felt somewhat unstable, to be completely honest. When a shoe doesn't fit right, it fits a little bit too wide, in my opinion, in pretty much all parts of the foot, you just get that little bit of slippage in the shoe. That makes a big difference as far as having that confidence to make those hard cuts. This next one I have here, or the last one, is basically a standing still sprint away from the camera. So you can see how much the studs are gripping in. You can see a little bit of the rollover in the upper. But again, for the most part, the Under Armour boot felt really, really solid when making these hard changes of direction, and it just fits really well. Better than all of the shoes that I did test out in today's video. The next shoe, again, is the Puma King Sl, and you can see that it definitely does grip in pretty well. There's a little bit of rollover. There's a little bit of flex in the ankle of the shoe. It's not very stiff as far as the sole plate is concerned. So for that reason, it's not super supportive, but it does the job as far as traction is concerned. And overall, I think Puma did a good job with this brand new stud pattern design. Again, the next shoe I have here is the Adidas F30. And again, I would say that it's overall the worst shoe out of the bunch that I tried today, to just say it bluntly. There's a lot of rollover in the upper. I wasn't really happy with the overall fit, and for the most part, it just didn't grip all that well. You can see there's quite a bit of movement in the upper, which is definitely not something that you do want. But that's pretty much it as far as the video is concerned. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you do want to see more. I like it. As always, guys, I hope you did enjoy the video, and thanks for watching.